Welcome back to Cooking in College, the show that teaches you how to make delicious, easy, and affordable meals. I'm your host, Paige. Today, we're going to teach you how to make a side dish to bring to your Thanksgiving feast. We're going to do sweet potato casserole. So, the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, because we're going to be baking this. So now we're going to take two 29-ounce cans of yams, and we're just going to pour them, careful because it splashes, into a bowl, both of the yams. Now along with that, we're also going to put 2 eggs that I already beat into the mixture as well, along with a 1/3 cup of milk. And before we add the other stuff, we're going to start mixing it just to get it started. So if you don't have a mixer, then I would use a spoon, like a wooden spoon or something, and try and mix it as the best that you can, because it is a lot easier with a mixer. So now we're just going to mix it all around. Thicker as you mix it. Once you start getting on my nose, once you start mixing it, it'll look really watery, but as you can see, it's getting a lot thicker. So now we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. Mixing it around. Also a 1/2 cup of butter. So we're going to pour that into the mixer. Keep mixing it until it all is completely together. Okay. So what we're going to end up putting this in, I have a little foil type container, but if you have like a casserole dish, I have sweet potatoes all over my face. If you have a casserole dish, you can use that too, but we're just using one of the tin foil ones that you can just pick up at any store. So we want to grease that lightly with, I'm using canola oil spray. You can use any type of spray that you want. And now we're going to set aside this mixture, and we're going to make the topping that we're going to be putting on it. So I'm going to clear this out. And ahead of time, you're going to want to soften some butter, because for the mixture we're going to be taking a 1/3 cup of butter that's already softened, and we're going to be mixing it with brown sugar and flour. So how we're going to do this is we're just going to take the 1/3 cup of butter and just chop it with the knife the best that we can in here. Because we're going to be ultimately crumbling the brown sugar and flour with the butter to make sort of like a little topping that we can just sprinkle on. So now we'll add 1/2 cup of flour to the mixture and 1 cup of brown sugar. And when you measure out these things, you want to make sure you measure them out correctly. You can't just, like when you're cooking normal stuff, you can, I guess, eyeball it or do what you want, but when you're baking things, you really want to make sure you measure out the right ingredients. And you want to pack your brown sugar. As you can see, you can pick it up. So I'm going to use my hands for this. I'm just going to basically mush together the brown sugar, the flour, and the butter so it gets into little crumb pieces. And just keep on going with that, and you'll see it'll get to be little crumb pieces. You can see all over my hands. And just continue with that until it all gets around there, until they're all crumb pieces and you don't have all this extra brown sugar and flour everywhere. If you have like a masher that has sharper, I don't exactly know what it's called, but my mom has one, and she uses it with her hands, and you can just mash down, and it basically cuts the butter and everything into pieces so that it does it for you, but we're all in college, so we can just use our hands. But as you can see, it's coming together more closely. So now we've finished our topping, and as you can see, it's little crumbled pieces. So before I put the sweet potato mix in, I just like to add a little splash of vanilla and mix it up. It could be about a teaspoon, you know, just eyeball it in there, and then give it one good quick mix. And this is going to cook, the whole thing is going to cook for 25 minutes in the oven. So now we're just going to pour it into our dish, all the way in there. And if you want to scoop out the extra, it's good sometimes to have help, like if you're going to cook this at your house with your family, you can hold the bowl while you're doing this. So now we're going to add our topping, and we're just going to take the topping and we're going to sprinkle it over the entire thing. You want to try and break up the pieces to sprinkle them all over, little pieces. We're also going to be adding marshmallows to this, and when my mom makes it, she likes to put marshmallows on half of it and leave the other half just with the topping because the topping is pretty sweet. So if you like marshmallows, you can add them. If not, you don't have to. Or you can add both, whatever you want, just like her. But you're just going to coat the whole top because we have a lot of the mixture, so you just want to cover the top so it gets like a candied sort of glaze on top of the sweet potatoes. So we just covered our sweet potato casserole with some marshmallows. And again, it's at 350 degrees that we heated our oven, so we're just going to place this in here and let it cook for 25 minutes. The sweet potato casserole is done, so now you're just going to reach in there and get some. And it's pretty watery. So now, I'm going to take a little bite with the marshmallow. Very good. Thank you for watching. This is Cooking in College with Paige.